Hello, I'm Dr. Toni Herndon, and I absolutely love what I do. I am a trainer and facilitator. I have been one with Civility Partners for about 7 years now. Adjunct college professor at Point Loma Nazarene University, where I worked for over 5 years, teaching in the leadership and nursing tracks there. A lot of courses around communication, group dynamics, conflict resolution, uh, how we get along in the workplace. I'm also a certified DISC trainer, certified mediator, certified interpretive guide trainer, and I also have a certificate in neurolinguistic programming. I love the exploration of my own personal growth. And so I honestly get as much from participants as I give out. I am there to help them explore their own personal growth. But we end up in conversations that are so rich because we all share these human experiences. So I very often see myself in the clients I work with, which makes me very relatable, very safe. And so having that rapport and that trust being built really lights my fire. In fact, one of the markers of a successful training is not only having gone through the curriculum and getting a thumbs up around that, but also the level of sharing and vulnerability that happens in the room when people can start to take the walls down with the people they work with every day. That really makes me happy. What I love most about Civility Partners clients is the actual partnership that we get to forge together. The fact that we are selective with who we choose to make sure that we are the best fit and vice versa. The longevity is what we're looking for. We want to be able to offer something that's going to be sustainable. And so to see folks who are eagerly excited and engaged in that process, where even long after I leave, they're still working with the material, they're still calling us and looking for more options about how to improve another area they may have found. So that excitement in their own discovery, their own learning, both on a personal level, on a team's level, as an organizational level, that excitement is something that really drives me. It doesn't seem to matter what industry. Some of those common challenges are true across the board. A lot of that stems from things like conflict resolution, right? That human experience of what it is to be working with someone and maybe hit those little bumpy spots. Another thing is giving and receiving feedback, no matter what level we're at, whether it's peer to peer or whether we're talking about a boss and employee situation where there's a power dynamic. How do we give and receive feedback? What are the same things that we need to be aware of? How do we make that process easier, knowing that with all of us, we get a little tense either giving and or receiving feedback. It's difficult or can be difficult for both parties. So that's a big one. I would say emotional intelligence is important because it's the foundation of everything we do. No matter what your business does, no matter what your services are, it's how we relate to one another is how that gets done. And so those moments of how do we treat each other with more dignity, more respect, more civility, right? All of those things. How do we work through conflicts when they happen? These are all skills that everybody could use. One thing I wish that folks knew a little bit more about my process is that it's always deeper than the topic being taught. You could probably charge me with teaching about earthworms, and I'm still going to make it about leadership. You could charge me with how to grow better flowers, and I'm still going to make it about teamwork and interconnectedness with how we lean on one another in workplaces to get what we want to accomplish completed. And so I really love the challenge of how to take what a client wants and then give them even more on how to build their humans that they have, not just the capacity they hold. So I really enjoy going that extra mile. And it's something that's not expected. It's something you're not going to see in the bullet points of what a training will offer. And yet it's something uniquely that I offer that you won't find from too many other trainers. So I really love that secret sauce that I bring. This is whether I just met you for 5 minutes or whether I have you for a whole 6 month series. is the message is always stay curious. Stay curious. Why did those two employees have that happen? Don't come in with assumptions. Don't come in with judgment. We're human. We will have those. But treat it like a hypothesis and put it on your shoulder and get curious. Get curious in the way that you ask questions. Take those accusatory tones or those potentially shaming tones out. Hey, tell me a little bit more about what went on with you and Joe Bob in that meeting on Thursday. I'm just wondering, help me understand. Is so much nicer than the why did you do that, right? So just those moments can be a real difference, the curiosity. Why does somebody do something a different way? Could it be cultural? Could it be that there's neurodivergence involved? Could it be that, they're going through something outside of work that I have no clue about? And if I come in because I think I know, because this needs to get done, I've limited that connection. I've limited that psychological safety. I've limited their sense of belonging, right? So, how do I create that bridge back? It's through curiosity. So, as a trainer, that's one thing I always bring in. Even I may have taught something 100 times, but each time is different because I'm curious who's showing up. I'm curious what they're showing up with, more so than what I have to offer. I'm curious what's happening over there. So keeping that curiosity open, getting more of myself or getting anyone's self out of the way so that bridge can be met is really something I hope a lot of people will start to consider. This is